Instead you can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song.
Welcome to Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged with your host, Brain Fitzpatrick. Wheeling the Pathways of Life Unplugged is a snapshot of the day-to-day experiences of disabled individuals as they navigate the world around us. We wish to shed light and open your eyes on a new perspective of people with disabilities. And by going unplugged, we can discuss viewpoints we hope will challenge our viewers' points of view. Most of us have disabilities we must live with, but what defines us is the way we deal with them. And now, here's your host, Brain Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick coming to you live from the studios at Pittsfield Community Television, Channel 1301. And we are also live on Facebook, YouTube as well. As the opening stated, it's a perspective of wheeling the pathway to life is a perspective of disabled people in the way that we navigate through life. But wheeling the pathway to life is also shows how there is no, I don't consider myself disabled. Yes, I'm in a chair, but my life is normal as far as I'm concerned. So it's wheeling the pathway to life is a snapshot of different abilities, but it is also the it's a way of combining the disabled so you can be as normal as you want, as normal and as productive members of society as you want to be, or as somebody wants you to be. Now, as I've stated in several shows, and as I've stated on several shows, the opinions of people are fine, but you got to let the person make their own decisions on what they do. Even though you may think it's a poor decision, part of the education of not only this show, but part of the education in general of people being people with disabilities that can handle this is the more they can experience difficulties, they learn how to navigate the difficulties. Now, there is something I want to camp out on, at least for the first half, and that goes back to personal care attendants and the personality and some of the differences of opinion and navigating that. Now, in my house, I have certain things where I know where they are and that I like to keep in places that I can easily get to. But the other day, for an example, I got stuck on a wire under my computer table, under my keyboard computer table. And it got wrapped around my hand control, the bar on my hand control. And I backed out of my spot for my keyboard. And I happened to be dragging the cord with me, and I stopped. And needless to say, there was nobody there, so I wound up calling the fire department. And I had mentioned to staff when they came in, man, we gotta make sure wires are out of the way when people leave and stuff. It's like, and the person actually said, well, I don't want to move those wires because every time I do something like moving stuff, I get in trouble. And I had to explain to them there's a difference between moving items for convenience for them as opposed to safety reasons for me getting caught up on it with my chair. That is not, and the argument was basically was the person was acting like it's not my job to go moving wires around. Well, in a way it is, because if the wires are in an area where I could get caught and potentially get stuck to the point where I can't move, that is a safety issue. Now, luckily I have alternative ways to get people to do what I love to handle those problems, but if I didn't, I would have to sit there for like 3 hours and wait for certain staff to come in. Now, and I spoke to my case manager about it, and he said, yes, you did exactly right, because that is a major safety issue if you get stuck in a wire. Like I said, it's not a situation where it's moving a box into another room where I don't know where it is. It's something that could potentially run into, and I could flip over or hit the wall or something and potentially hurt myself. So, when you are dealing with a person that knows what he's talking about, like me, and your supervisors, pay attention to work. Pay attention to your surroundings. Um, Pay attention to the person's surroundings that you're working for and kind of anticipate what they could get caught up in, what they could potentially be a hazard. Because in some positions, um, that could be a problem for you as responsible people because you may have noticed it and you say, oh, Brian doesn't want me touching that. Well, there's some things if you don't do it, don't move it out of the way, then it could be a potential problem. Now, um, now there has to be communication, and there still has to be communication between the client and the staff as to what I feel is a safety issue and what they feel is a safety issue. But there are standard safety issues. Like if there's a housing problem or something, like if there's a hole in the floor that I need to call the landlord for, that's a major safety issue, but it's it's not like it's a major safety issue, so you gotta maintain, it's what is a overall safety issue plus, um, maintain what the client wants. I know it can be difficult, but that's part of the job. And if you're not willing to do the job, maybe the job isn't for you. So, I mean, it was um, it's pretty clear that people come up with excuses not to do things because they don't want to get in trouble or something, but if they don't do it, they could get in trouble just for not doing it. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about too is, even though we have all staff have human rights, everybody on this earth has human rights. But it is very clear that both the staff have to treat me with respect, and I have to treat them with respect. You need to have a good communication level with the staff to know when you're going too far with conversations, both with staff and with clients. And just as a general conversational kind of thing, just as a general friendly warning for people, you cannot legally talk about another client with another client because of HIPAA. It is a completely inappropriate. Neither the client can ask you questions about the other client, or you can't go to the other client, and you can't tell me about the other client, and they can't. You can't tell me about the other client. I can't tell you about the other client. That is a definite human rights violation and violation of federal and state law if you do. The reason why I bring this up is because throughout the years of my career with PCAs and working with PCAs, you get friendly with them so you think you can say whatever you want, do whatever you want. But part of being a professional is you gotta know where your boundaries are. And when we come back from our first PSA break, I will continue the conversation and go a little further in the conversation. We will be right back in a moment, folks.
I have a maker. He formed my heart before even time began. My life was in his hand. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. He sees each tear that falls and hears me when I call. I have a father, and he calls me his own, and he'll never leave me, no matter where I go. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. And he sees each tear that falls and hears me when I call. He knows my name. He knows my every thought. And he sees each tear that falls
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick again from, this is Wheeling the Pathway to Life with Brian Fitzpatrick. I was talking about personalities and what, those kind of situations are if you're dealing with staff and clients as well. There's a very fine line between being friends with the client and going too far with the conversation. Now, as I was saying before, you cannot talk about another client with the other individual. With another individual or privacy, there's privacy concerns going either way with staff and with clients. Now, one of the things that I don't like with the PCA program, and this is a warning for everybody, if you're under staff roofs, which is you're under a Tempest physical intermediary through Medicaid, you cannot work anything over 50 hours a week for one client. Okay. Meaning, just for clarification, meaning if you're working 40 hours for one client, means you cannot work over additional 10 hours, or you'll be going over for both clients. They do not take into consideration the 50-hour week, the 50-hour week being modified if you're working with two clients. If you're working 10 hours for one and 40 hours for the other, you can't work more than two clients at a time. You cannot work more than two clients at a time. That is something that you can not do. Otherwise, and I don't agree with this, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but so that means if you work 50 hours in general, you cannot have any other clients, because if you do, that's affecting both clients you work for, as in their hours could be cut because you went over the 50 hours between the two clients. Now, during the pandemic, this was canceled, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is they're starting it up again as a rule that nobody can work over 50 hours a week. Now, the reason why they let that go for the pandemic is nobody else wanted to work, so they had to allow people to do overtime. But now that the pandemic's over, they are not allowing for overtime because, again, that's time and a half, and no agency wants to pay time and a half, especially from the state's point of view. Now, I don't agree with it, and when I can get a hold of somebody to come in and explain or get that changed, I will try. Trisha, probably Bouvier, if you're listening to this conversation, you are invited to come on the show and discuss it, and we will go into greater detail about what I'm saying. Or any politician or any state representative or even federal representative, let me know if you want to come on the show and we'll discuss more about this. Now on a totally different situation, different topic entirely. And one of these times I will be going to a city council meeting. I'm going to try and make the 15th city council meeting. And in the public comment section, I am going to make a comment, and I will make it public now so that if any city councilman has a concern, they can contact me between now and then, and we can schedule and discuss why I said what I did. But, and I've seen this over many times in my lifetime in the city of Pittsfield. I feel very strongly, this is my own opinion and not the opinion of the station or its representatives, even the BTBI. This has nothing to do with the station at all. I do not feel like it's productive to be bad-mouthing or spending half your time talking to a department head about something that the other department head before this person actually did, because the department head you're talking about, one, doesn't know knows what you're talking about, but can't do anything because it's in the past. I think this city could move forward a lot more if people would just not forget the past, but keep the past as an education to not repeat the situations, but do not spend half your time in a city council meeting discussing what other councilmen in the past did or other administrations did in the past. I think it's, again, this is my own opinion, but I think it is very counterproductive for that conversation, and it's taking time away in a city council meeting for things to get done that need to be done, and the constituents of Pittsfield do deserve to be heard and know what's going on at the moment, not stuff that's been going on 10 or 12 years ago with a certain department head that the city council doesn't like or whatever. There's a fine line between talking about history so you learn from it, but there's also a decorum. There's also a formatted decorum that those conversations should be discussed in committee, not out in the public. You're supposed to be representing the people, your constituents, and the people that voted you in, not bad mouthing or I understand that the directors may mess up, but there's a time and a place to be doing the conversations, and not everybody wants to be involved, and not everybody doing it on public during a city council meeting is not the appropriate place. That should be done internally. If you got a problem with somebody, talk to them. Don't put it out there in public unless you got a solution to the problem. That's only my opinion. And because the reason why I brought that up is I've had Ricardo Morales on several times after a city council meeting, and all I've heard during the city council meeting is this went on years ago, when what are you gonna, how would you fix this? Well, I would say don't talk about other people, just move forward to what's going on right now. Because this city would be a lot better off if that happened. I mean, I'm not bad-mouthing the conversations that go on, but I'm saying, rather than talk about ancient history, let's focus on what needs to be focused on now. Like our buildings and our police station and stuff like that. Rather than blaming a department head for another department head situation. That's just my soapbox on that. when it comes to situations like that, I think people forget that the people that don't, there's people that are coming in to the city to try to make themselves, try to become actual members of the city of Pittsfield and productive workers in the city of Pittsfield. Do you think people want to deal with arguments or hear about arguments if the city council can't conduct themselves in a way that is productive and show a good faith and a good image? Do you think we're going to get people in here wanting to get jobs and wanting to make the city better? I want you to think about that. So when you conduct yourself on TV and in the media, just remember, you guys are the face of Pittsfield. So if you sit there and argue about this one did this 10 years ago, what does it matter? Unless it pertains to something they did, it is a major big deal for the city, then that's fine. But, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter if, it doesn't matter if it doesn't affect the, if it's a personality conflict or, you know, somebody didn't do the paperwork right or somebody didn't do something, fix it internally. We want to make the city better. We don't want to make it seem like people don't want to come here to get a job. With that, folks, I will get off of that subject, but I just wanted to say that the people in department heads are doing the best they can. Give them the tools they need to do their jobs to the best of their ability. Don't sit there and argue with them and try to put them down, because they're doing the best they can with the constraints you give them and what the federal government gives them. So appreciate them, don't put them down because they're not doing it. If they're truly not doing their job right, then we need to do something. But if it's just a personality conflict, leave it alone and handle it privately. With that, folks, we will be right back.
You brought me this far, so why would I question you now? You have provided, so why would I start to doubt? I've never been stranded, abandoned, or left here to fight alone. So I'm giving you control. I lift my life up. Give it all in surrender. I lift my heart up. You can have it forever. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I leave it in your hands. I live my life out. Have your way in me. Have your way in me. If peace is a river, then let it sweep over me. If I'm under fire, I know it's refining me. When I hear you calling out, I'll follow now, wherever the road may go, because I know you're leading me home. I live my life up. I give it all in surrender. I lift my heart up. You can have it forever. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I leave it in your hands. I lift my life up. Have your way in me. Have your way in me. Take my life and let it be all for you. Take my life and let it be all for you. I live my life up. I give it all in surrender. I lift my heart up. Take my life. I live my life up. Give it all in surrender. I lift my heart up. You can have it forever. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I leave it in your hands. I live my life up. Oh, have your way in me. Have your way in me. Just have your way in me. Have your way in me. Just take my life and let it be all for you. Someday.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Brain Fitzpatrick with Wheeling the Pathway to Life. I just wanted to say again, that was the PSA that was just on is from New Life Community Fellowship, and the services we have on in New Life Community Fellowship can be found on Facebook, YouTube, and on Sunday mornings we have a 9 o'clock service and a 11 o'clock service. And if people want to know anything that's going on in the church, like activities and stuff, can go to this website, New Life Community Fellowship slash the loop, and it'll come up to that loop page, and everything is on there, all the announcements, all the activities, and yes, even we have a prayer chain, prayer request area so people can put in a prayer request, and those go to the pastors only and not the members of the church. So please join us on Sunday mornings between either at the 9 o'clock service or the 11 o'clock service. 11 o'clock service, we have children's church, while the pastor is teaching the big kids in the sanctuary. With that, folks, I would like to say to my crew and the people at Pittsburgh Community Television, thank you for everything you guys do, and thank you for the support you've given the show for now 4.5 years, because we have just celebrated this month, as a matter of fact, and the 4th year gonna be the 4th year of this show being on the air. So I appreciate everything, and those people that participated in each pizza, we really appreciate everything you guys did, and we appreciate all the help and all the participating pizza establishments in Pittsfield and the surrounding areas that helped us. We are grateful to you. I can talk today. I'm grateful to you for everything you did for us. And on behalf of Pittsfield Community Television, and especially Wheeling the Pathway to Life, I personally really appreciate everything you did, and you can count on me when it comes to getting information out there and giving you confidence in your hometown, and the hometown production by a disabled person. What I'm trying to show on this show is disabilities do not matter. We are productive members of society, and I will continue to work for the people of Pittsfield, even though working under definition involves money, but I consider this a job, and I take as much pride in the job as I would if I was getting paid for it. So you can count on me. Any information you want from me, or that you want to be talked about, let me know. You can get a hold of me at Wheeling the Pathway to Life wheelingthepathwaytolife@gmail.com. That's wheelingthepathwaytolife@gmail.com. And we will have more. Over the past few weeks, I haven't been able to get guests, but I will be continuing to work on getting guests. And if you guys have any special guests that you may want on the show, let me know, and I will try to accommodate. That is, and remember, dis- disabilities. Disabilities and being handicapped and being the labels are so important that there's only one label that I will be promoting, and that label is physically challenged, or in some cases mentally challenged. But we all have challenges in life, don't we? And we need to keep in mind that challenges do not define us. It's how we deal with the challenges is what defines us. It's not the challenges that define us, it's how we react to them, both staff and both staff and client. It's how we react to them. Now, if it is clearly, there is clearly a situation where situations don't work with certain clients and staff. But if you know there's a cognitive challenge with a person, so you cannot communicate easily, do not blame there's some responsibility for the client's behavior, but it depends on what the disability is as to what can be done about it or how much responsibility the client has for their behavior. Like me, I'm totally responsible for my behavior because I'm able to communicate and able to express myself and able to understand right from wrong. But you just gotta keep in mind other situations are different. So you may get upset with the client, but the best thing to do is walk away when they get upset and let them cool down. Don't try to continue to engage over the point you're trying to make. There is a time and a place to continue the conversation, and there's much more, there's easier ways to get your point across than yelling. And it's not fair to somebody that's either physically challenged or mentally challenged to continue to sit there and know you're gonna do things my way, well, that's gonna get nowhere but get people upset and nothing's gonna get done. So, as the title says, disability is not about the way the disability defines us, it's what we do about it. With that, I'd just like to say one more time, thank you for all the help with the production and from Wheeling the Pathway to Life. I'd like to thank the crew again from PCT, from Pacific Community Television, for being there for me and for as many people as we have, as this place is always busy with productions, even if they're not live like this one. But each production deserves and gets the same respect as my show. If not, and this is the most professional and dedicated crew that I've seen in the years that I've worked with television. And dare I say, some of the productions here on PCT Channel 1301 and WTBR are better than some of the national syndicated TV shows you got out there now. So, with that, folks, this has been Brian Fitzpatrick bringing you an episode of Wheeling the Pathway to Life. If you want to get a hold of me, it's wheelingthepathwaytolife@gmail.com. And we will be back next week. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
You can bury the workman, but the work will go on. You can silence the voices, but you can't stop the song. 'Cause when the spirits move, and His will be done. You can bury the workman, but the work will go on.